Hi guys, today I'm doing a comparison video between the original Nintendo DS and the DS Lite. So, the Nintendo DS was released in 2004, and it revolutionized how gaming began with touchscreen controls, microphone, wireless capabilities, all that kind of stuff. But its design was not really the best, and it had some downsides, being the screen was not very good. The backlight wasn't very good, which is what the DS Lite improved on, and its design as well was not the best. Its hinge is, while the Game Boy Advance SP was its design was how the DS got its design, but the DS design seems to be a little bit worse. And the backlight seems to be worse than the GBA SP, which is what the DS Lite improved. And the stylus is up here, where on the DS Lite, it's here. So, the DS Lite actually did improve, and the one thing that they did improve is the GBA placeholder cartridge, to protect the cartridge slot for when you don't have a Game Boy Advance game in there. The only downside with the DS Lite on that is the fact that the cartridges stick out. So the major improvement was that the screen was brighter, so we're going to show you how different and brighter it is. As you can see, the DS screen is much brighter, especially since when the screen is brighter, it's harder for my phone to focus on it. But their menu UI is exactly the same. So, for the DS, there's only two brightness settings. There's only just this backlight or no backlight at all. And on the DS Lite, at its lowest volume or lowest brightness, but you can increase it 3 times, and that's its highest level. So I'm gonna show you what happens when you boot up a game and see if it's any faster. And I've also heard on Mario Kart DS that there's a different startup sound when you start up the game on the DS Lite than the original DS. But the DS Lite is much more sleeker, that's the main point, than the original DS, and its design is much smaller. It's not as smaller, but I'm gonna do a size comparison. So, here's the size between the DS and DS Lite. It's not really small. It's not that much smaller than the original. And surprisingly, the DS, the back of the original DS, when you have it like this, it's upside down, but it's actually the right way for the original, or for the DS Lite. And I'm going to show you what I mean by the cartridges stick out of the DS Lite, in case you've never seen. Which, when I first saw a DS Lite, I never knew that they would stick out. So, put one in the original DS. For the original DS, the cartridges are flush with the console. For the DS Lite, they stick out, which is kind of a downside to those people who like their games being flush, which I think is pretty cool with the original DS. I honestly like the original DS better, just even though a lot of people prefer the DS Lite. The DS Lite is a cooler model, though, since all their models have the square thing, have the dual screen logo on the front. So I'm going to boot up the GBA game. So, unfortunately, with the DS and the DS Lite, there isn't a way that you can do multiplayer with the games. You can only do them in single player because they don't add a link cable port. And the Y and X buttons are not functional buttons for the GBA mode. So that is that's my... Oh, I'm going to show you the stylus size first. So the stylus is kind of small for the original DS, and the one for the DS Lite is a bit bigger, but they actually did improve on that stylus too with the DSi XL. So thank you for watching my video review on my comparison video on the DS and the DS Lite. I post videos on Fridays usually, and also, please subscribe. That would really be appreciative, and I'll see you next time. See you next week.